What you got for me? There we go. Good. Find the domain of the function. Well, remember with a log, what can you take the log of? Think
Um,
about like y equals log base 10 of x. What does that graph look like?
it would be kind of like,
It would be like
yeah,
this, right?
yeah.
Something like that.
So the the
So the
domain
x
has to
also,
be, yeah, the
yeah, you
x has
has
to
to be bigger
be
than
a
zero.
positive, bigger
That's
than
right.
0.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to say that that thing, what's inside there, has to be greater than or not equal to, greater than zero,
Hmm.
right? Can't be equal to it. So now let's solve this equation. That means x over 6 has to be greater than 4, right? Which means x has to be greater than 24. So your domain is all real
20.
numbers from 24 to infinity if you're writing in interval notation.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's all you have to do. You don't mess with all the other numbers.
The other numbers don't have anything to do with it.
Okay. So I was just overcomplicating this when I was doing homework for it.
Yeah, that one's not too hard because all you have to do is you look at the thing and you think, what am I not allowed to do? I'm not allowed to take the log of a negative number. So then what's inside there has to be positive or has to be greater than zero.
Hmm.
And so just set it up and then solve the equation. Yeah.
Okay. I got my next question up.
Okay. Where'd you write it? You putting it up there now?
No. A, oh, come on. There it is. This one is the type of question I've struggled a bit on.
Suppose that that equals A and that equals B. Use properties to rewrite the in terms of A and B. Okay. So this would be the ln, thicker. Hold on 1 second. For some reason, my pen looks thin and I don't like it.
Mm,
See if I can make it as thick as possible. All right. So the ln of the sixth root of 55, I can rewrite that as the ln of 55. I can write 1/6 in front of that,
hmm.
right? Of ln of 55. And then I can rewrite that as 1/6 times the ln of 5 times 11. And I can rewrite that as 1/6 times the ln of 5 plus the ln of 11. You
Hmm.
understand why?
Yeah.
Because of the properties. And what is the ln of 5?
The ln of 5
It's A.
is
And what's the ln of
A
11?
plus B.
Yep. So there you go.
Okay.
Got it. So the properties of logs, you just kind of break them up and use them until you get it down written in terms of something that you already know because they gave you those values up there.
Hmm.
Good.
Yeah. I got the next one right next to it.
Oh, my bad. The function is 1 to 1. Find the inverse of f. So the inverse, the way you do inverse, this is your function f. So the inverse would be flipping the x and the y
Yeah.
and then solving for y. So x plus 2 equals y cubed, and which means
You
the
would have to
cube
cube
root
root. Okay.
of x plus 2 equals y. So there's your inverse function. And then you should rewrite it in terms of an
Yeah.
inverse.
Wouldn't it also work as parentheses x plus 2 to the power of 1/3? Because they would
Yes.
mean the same thing.
Yep. Same thing. And then it says state the domain and range of f. So the domain of this, um,
That would be negative
that's
infinity to
just all
infinity.
It's all real numbers, right? Both of them are all real numbers because that's the domain and the range of f is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for the inverse, it would be the same
Yeah.
because
Okay.
the domain of this is the same as the range of the original,
Mm-hmm.
and the range of this is the same as the domain of the original.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Um, I got this question as well.
So those are the same.
Okay.
The function is increasing on the interval from 0 to 6. What can you conclude about, or what conclusions do you draw about the graph of the inverse? So let's just visualize this, okay? Because they're trying to get us to think about this, I think, visually and checking if we understand what they're talking about. So from 0 to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it says it's increasing. So the function is going up somehow. Let's say it's doing something like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, what can you conclude about the inverse? Well, um, the inverse would be flipped over the line y equals x. So there's the line y equals x. So it would be going like, use green for this one. That point would be here, and it would be flipped like that.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? So from from this is from 0 to 6 right here. That would be 6 up here. So
Okay.
what can you conclude?
That it is increasing, right? Or
Um, shoot, what can you conclude? In this example, it looks like it's increasing, but what do you say it's increasing from? You
would
can't
it
say it's increasing on an interval of x. You can say that
on the
the
interval of
on
f?
the on the range on the range of 0 to 6, for the
Yeah.
values of the range from 0 to 6, the graph is increasing. I just don't know how you would say that.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see,
Uh,
what else can you say? If it's increasing from 0 to 6, can it be, I guess what you can conclude about the graph is that it's a function,
okay.
not meaning it does exist as a function. It's not, because sometimes if you had like a parabola, if you had like, whoops, did I lose you?
Uh,
Don't know what happened there. I Every now and then that happens where I just kind of I
like zoom
touch
off.
something and I don't know what happened to it, but I'm back. Can you see me again? If your function was like this, then that's not increasing, right? On that interval. So when you look at that, you can't um the inverse is not a function because the
Mm-hmm.
inverse relationship would be a sideways parabola.
Yeah.
So what conclusions can you draw of that graph? I'd say one of the conclusions is you can say that it's a function on
Mm-hmm.
that, well, at least between, um for all of the points on the graph of, um for which the y values are between 0 and 6. For any y values between 0 and 6, it's a function. Just
Mm-hmm.
usually don't say it like that. So I'm not really sure what they want you to say. You don't have the answer key for this?
Yeah. I could check what they want us to say. Um,
I'm interested to know
um,
what they want you to say.
they say uh, the answer he says the correct answer is the graph of y y equals f in inverse of x is increasing on the interval of f 0 comma f 6
Yeah,
parentheses.
that's what we said.
Yeah,
It's increasing on the, yeah, usually you don't say it like that though. You know,
yeah,
f of 0 to f of 6. It's increasing on that interval, but that interval is based upon the y values, and typically you don't base an interval on the y values. You usually
yeah.
talk about the interval over the x values, but I guess you could do that. Yeah. So
Mm.
that's what we said.
Yeah, that was an odd question.
It was
I got this one that also stumped me and some of my classmates.
oh yeah, classic. Writing it as a single and expressing the powers as factors. So this would be log base 3 of x to the 1/2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Minus log base 3 of x to the 7. So now I can combine these together with the subtraction property. So that's the log base 3 of x to the 1/2 over x to the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Get what I did there?
Yeah.
Which equals log base 3 of x to the, I'm going to subtract the powers. So this is like 14 halves, right? So that would be x to the negative 13
13.
halves.
Oh,
Write the expression as a single, express powers as factors.
I think
Yep.
after
So now
that
I'm
you
not
would
done
just
yet. Powers as factors means this comes down to the front.
mm-hmm.
So negative 13 over 2 log base 3 of x. That's the answer.
Okay, got it. That makes much more sense. I have another one kind of similar, but
Hmm.
this one has three terms to
Okay.
match. On the he sent this question, I was having a little trouble, so I
By
went
the way, how are
online.
you how are you inserting these? What are you doing to insert these?
I just take a screenshot and
Okay,
then I
so
will
you're on your computer.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's good because some people have a hard time doing this, and you do it a good job. So, all right, so write the expression as a single logarithm. So these are all log base threes. So
Yeah.
let's bring the powers up to the top, right?
Mhm.
Minus log base 3 of x minus 4 minus log base 3 of x minus 12. So then these can combine together. I could factor out a negative from here, and that would be the log base 3 of x minus 4 plus the log base 3 of x minus 12. There's a couple
Mhm.
ways you can do this, but I like to do it this way. Got it? And then these, when I'm adding them, what does that mean I do?
You're multiplying them.
Good. So multiply them, x minus 12. And that's the whole thing is being subtracted. And then what do I do when I'm subtracting two things?
You would divide it.
Yeah. So this stays on the top. X plus 3 stays on the top. And this goes to the bottom. X minus 4 times x minus 12.
Hmm. Okay. Wait, I might have missed that part from maybe my internet, but how did the minus sign between the x minus 4 and x minus 12 turn into a positive?
Because I factored it out
Oh,
right here. I factored it out of both of those.
okay.
Again, there's other ways you could do it, but that to me is the cleanest way to explain it and to kind of show
Hmm.
what you're doing.
Okay.
Got another one? I got time for one more.
Okay, I'm just trying to look for one that I'm unsure of because like this whole week he gave us like four questions, no, four homeworks, and each homework had like 35 questions each.
Yeah, that's good. You need practice with the log stuff. That's just what you got to do.
Yeah, but for tutoring, it's hard to figure out which one I should ask
Right,
for my allotted time.
right.
Um, I guess this one. Bring it up right now.
Okay, suppose f of x equals 5x. What is f of 4? So that's just 5 to the fourth, which is 25 times 25, which is whatever that huge number is, right? Do you have
Yeah.
it? You're good with
Uh,
that?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 625.
When x is 4, what is the point on the graph? So the point would be 4 comma 625. That would be your point.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said if f of x equals 1 over 25, what is x?
Would you
Wait,
replace the F?
what is
So
x? What? What do they mean? I don't get what the question's asking. If f of x equals, there is no x in this. If
yes.
f of x equals, oh, I think they're saying if the function value for this is 1 over 25. Okay, I see. So 1 over 25 equals 5 to the x. What is x? Solve
Mm-hmm.
for x. Well, 1 over 25 is 5 to the negative 2. So x would be negative 2. What is x?
Oh,
X is negative 2. So
okay.
when f of x equals 1 over 25, what is the point? What is the point on the graph of f? So the point on the graph of f is negative 2 comma 1 over 25.
Okay.
It was not worded very well, if you ask
Yeah.
me, that question, but that's what they're asking for. So if you looked
Okay.
at the graph, it goes like this. Oops. If you look at the graph, it goes like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 5 comma, sorry, 4 comma 625. That'd be way up high, 625. And
Yeah.
this is negative 2 comma 1 over 25, which is close to 0.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're trying to get at.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.